Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in the south side of Antigua right now. This is what they call the Green Corridor. I'm on a farm called Claremont Farm. I'm with farmer Grant Joyce. People just call him Farmer Grant, beginning and end.
Oh, yes, Mr. Grant.
Mr. Grant, and he's showing us, we're talking about the Antigua Black Pineapple today. He is what we call the last large-scale black pineapple farmer in Antigua. So, Mr. Joyce, show me what we're looking at here.
We're looking here at the where it originated. They started there's the old master's house from slavery.
From slavery days, yes. Is that what, Claremont Estate Farm or whatever?
Yeah,
the original.
The master's house.
The master's house, yes.
Right. He had all of this estate going right up above you and right across. He had a huge area. Sir Williams, we call this Sir Williams.
Sir Williams, right, okay.
Yeah, but
right here, this is what, Dalma, you said? This is
Dalma Brown has his farm right there.
Right in front of us, right there?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, further over, okay.
Yeah, a little further over.
No problem, we get there.
There's a lot, everybody has a little piece, of plots in there. But that was an agricultural station back in the 40s and 50s.
Yes.
And when Thomas Mason approached the Minister of Agriculture and said he'd like to start an Antigua Black Pineapple farm. He thought there's potential there. And so he was directed to George Weaver. They said, you should talk to George Weaver about that. He got together with George, and they put a plan together, and they started over at that agricultural station back in '63, I think, originally, and just got pineapple suckers, we call them slips, from the community.
From the community, in the south.
And and just started, and then they were propagating themselves. And these conventional methods, it takes a long time, because in 4 years you might get 2 crops, a few slips from each, So it's a slow expansion. But eventually they had the capacity to expand, and they moved into Claremont Valley, which we're looking at there.
Right now, it's a beautiful, this is picturesque, man. This is postcard quality picture right there. Even though you say it's not up to scratch and you haven't planted.
Over in the right here, that's the 80-acre mangrove.
Yes.
And Carlisle Bay behind.
Carlisle Bay over here,
Yeah. And that's a big mangrove right in the center there.
Nature.
So, we want to preserve all of that. And so they came over here, I believe it's in the late 60s. Yeah, and I met Thomas Mason once. He came before he passed on. And
who was he?
So he was a wealthy mill reefer. He lived right on Nonsuch Bay, and he called the company Nonsuch Limited.
Right.
So he started it up really, but George Weaver helped him get some early staff, and particularly Enoch Anthony from Old Road Village.
Okay.
And
what's his name? Anthony?
Enoch.
Enoch Anthony, yeah.
Yeah, so he was instrumental in putting a workforce together and getting the right tools. And it was... we were off to the races. It did take time, of course, to build up. But I started here in '83. Okay. So I came to Antigua in 1980, working with Cardi, Forage Legume Project. It was really interesting, and then they asked if I would stick around here for a few months. They had some production problems. Well, what really happened is
45 years later, sticking around still.
What happened was, at the same time I was supposed to go back to Canada, I met a girl.
Oh no, that's the end of that's it. That's the end of that.
Yeah.
No more Canada.
Destiny. Yeah, and actually, past December 2024, we celebrated our 40th. Wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and one of our, my boy David is here with me right now. He's actually started the product development unit, we're calling it.
Of Claremont Farm.
At Claremont Farms, yeah. Right. So he's getting quite involved, as well as my daughter, younger daughter.
Right.
And yeah, so that's kind of what brought me here. I worked as field supervisor.
Work and love.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here, Mr. Grant?
Okay, so we call that area matty corner at the bottom. That's where we're planting on the left side there, behind the mango.
Oh,
so
this way.
There's mango, yeah. And right behind there, we're
Okay, let's go over.
planting.
Let's go over there.
Right now.
Stick a joint over there. Right here.
Yeah, so that's the older field, 6B. The 6A is this one up here, which looks just kind of silvery. It's mulched.
Over here. That's the new mulch. That's new?
Yeah.
Okay.
New mulch.
So that's right here, the trees, those are mango trees you said, right?
Mango trees, yeah.
Okay,
We've got mostly Palmer and Kit mangoes in there. But you can see the light green, they're flushing again. So they put out a lot of mango in the last month.
With all that rain we've been having.
So you can see where this is, we're just starting to plant on the first 6 rows here on the right.
Yeah, we're getting over there. Just trying to get over the mangoes. Head straight in.
You don't want to hit a tree, I guess.
Yeah. My skills are getting better at this stuff, so just bear with me. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So you can just barely see the little suckers that are planted into the mulch field on the right.
On the right, okay.
Those first 6 rows, and then we'll come around and we'll finish the other 6.
Yeah.
And we'll do that in a month or a month and a half.
Yeah, I'm carrying it right now so people can have an idea of what's going on here. You're about 50 feet from the ground here. Yeah. There,
you've seen them better.
Zoom in.
You probably have to zoom,
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
So they're planted, 1 feet apart, and it's about a 5 foot bed.
Okay, so these are plants, right? How long is it going to take for it before something we can eat? The pineapple.
At least a year and a half.
Whoa! I thought you were going to say 6 months.
No, we put them in the ground. They're a little bit slow to root. So we have a technique, we call it top and tail, where we take the tops off, because when they're without roots, you get a wind like we have today, and they're blowing over. So we take the top off them; they're less apt to blow over, and then we score the base, and that encourages rooting.
Right,
they root faster. So it takes a few weeks for them just to start rooting.
Turning around now.
Okay, there's more mango.
Mango, that's where we're looking at it now from that end.
Yeah.
So we're looking back at where we are.
Back at where we are.
Yeah. And that is the farm. So how much acres is it that you farm presently?
We have 20 acres in pineapple. Now, when I'm calculating acreage, it's the acreage that's under pineapple. So
in use,
you see a lot of roads there. Those are access roads. If we want to boom spray, or we want to harvest, we want to do anything, it's access roads, but they also act as stabilizers. They stabilize the ground, and it's not apt to, if you leave it bare, completely bare, and you get one of these big 6-inch rains, it can do a lot of damage, wash away soil.
Okay, so that acts like what, a drainage, like you're saying?
It's drainage, and also the grasses are holding the soil firm.
Okay.
So we mix it also in with the mango. Those are mangoes. That's the first mangoes that we planted right there.
Okay, that's for us. Try out the mango.
Yeah. And there's several. Well, actually, there's 16 varieties in there actually, but we don't really concentrate on that. No,
you don't count them. You just like it's too much.
No. So we got Kit and Palmer. Some big mangoes. We have the Julies, of course.
Everybody talks about Julies.
My favorite, kidney.
Okay.
I love the kidney, and people often don't realize if you have a favorite kidney tree, because they're all a little different, right? You got a favorite one, you can graft it onto a rootstock, a mango rootstock,
right? And
you can reproduce that same wild kidney mango onto your own.
I
make a
got you.
selection. Yeah.
What about over here now? That's more mangroves over here?
Yeah, that's no. Yeah, that's mango.
Mangoes, I'm saying mangroves.
Yeah, that's
mangoes.
mango. That's the limit of our
Oh, yeah, your boundaries, like.
boundary. Yeah, it's just above that.
Above that is really just going up a hill, a mountain range.
Yeah, yeah, it's it's a lovely hillsides there.
Yeah, let's go up there. Let's just look around. Let's see how far up we can go. We still have 54 minutes on battery life. So, yeah, we can go up and see what's going on and look down on your farm.
Now,
I've been hiking up in the hills before, and I look down on your farm.
Yeah, you can
it's
from there.
So beautiful.
And I tried to get up there. I put on my overalls, my gloves. I got my cutlass.
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if anybody can go up that hillside. There's a kind of vine with, yeah.
I came down with the 5 a.m. hikers, and we had rope coming down the side, and
There is some paths that have access, but just to go through the bush,
it's rough.
I could do it. Yeah, it's rough. And I watched a rock fall from the heights up here once.
Well, that's like natural, yeah.
Yeah, and it came thundering down there, huge rock, and bounding down and broke up in pieces.
Wow.
It was. Yeah, we had I think it was 6 or 8 large landslides during Lenny. Remember Lenny?
Yeah.
There was so much rain.
The rain, from Lenny. Everybody talks about that.
So heavy that whole sides of the hill just let go, and trees and everything just came cascading down.
Yeah, so that's up about nearly 500 feet up. Are you looking at the old plantation estate?
Looking across the mangrove.
Right, yeah.
Mangrove.
And let's look down at the farm.
And
now.
that's the village, old road up there on the top. Now, there's these old fields. You'll see kind of at the lower end there.
Which one at the
that
bottom?
are all grassy here.
Oh, right there, ahead, right straight ahead.
Old fields that have already given us 2 crops. We got a plant crop and
So you're letting them replenish themselves there?
and well, what we want to do after that period is we want to get all the suckers that we can.
Right.
And so it'll get grassy now. We're not going to, do any weed control while they're giving us slips for planting.
Right.
Yeah. And then once that's done, we lick it out, and we take up the drip line. We reuse the drip line.
Right.
The irrigation drip line. And then we put in a fallow crop, and we like sweet potato, but as I said, up here we're planting sorrel next week.
Okay.
For this year, but you don't want to plant pineapple after pineapple after pineapple. You'll get pest and disease.
Okay, so you have to change the crop.
Change the crop, yeah, and starve out any pests that are eating your roots. Or
right. I'm looking at the old estate over there, just curious to see how that looks.
Howard Levine lived up there in the 80s when I first came here.
He was the attorney, the disbarred New York attorney.
Yeah.
I've been up to it. Some part of it's so huge. It is so huge.
It looked like a palace, really, when he was there. He was really...
He spent some money on that thing.
He spent some money on it, yeah.
And then this nature reclaimed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's some stone structure there, it looks.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like the house. That looks like some sort of...
Well, I don't know. I've been through there years ago.
Yeah, it's different from looking up from above.
But there's a main house kind of right in the under
the stone
trees.
part, I didn't see this before, so this looks...
But that had a wooden structure actually on it, and that was burned down in the protests back in
the 90s?
2001, 2002.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a stone building. Looks like it has some bar windows or hurricane shutters still on it. Let's look down now.
See if you can see it. Yeah, that might be the old house right there.
It looks like it has a galvanized roof that's probably sunk in, or...
Yeah, it just fell in.
Yeah. That's directly over it now. Let's see.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And there's a gatehouse over where the road goes.
There's another structure here. Look like it's the main structure to me.
Yeah.
That's the main part. That other part looks older. This part looks...
You can get up on top there and look down across Carla Bay and the lake. Over to the right is a gatehouse. I think in the road the access road there. don't know if you can see it.
Man, there's so much bush you don't even know.
Yeah.
I think I came at it at this direction.
Just up
Wait,
a little
up
bit.
a little? Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
go up. That's the road coming up, but it's no, you can't even see the gate.
Yeah, it's too much. I know you're talking about, 'cause I've been there hiking, but let me just show them how it looks on this side now.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of history. What did they say this
Well,
plantation?
That was built apparently in 1629. There was
Yeah.
a girl working, Bernadette. She works for Rendezvous Tours, so she did some research. 1629, it was built for a Colonel Williams.
Yeah.
And apparently, the first Caucasian ever born in Antigua was born up there.
Born up here.
Yeah.
Okay. I think they said she was buried out at the church. What's it by the old church there? I know
Anglican church.
in the book the Antigua and the Antiguans, they speak about her when she was born and where she was buried. It's actually recorded in the book. It was an Irish lady that came to Antigua in the 1840s, just after slavery, and she must have really loved writing, because she informed us about everything, genealogy of blacks, whites, and Amerindians. She did it in volume 1 and volume. I only read volume 1. She goes into history. Then she went into the book with genealogy, even to the Anglican Church, St. John's Anglican Church, the big church. She talked about every plaque that was on the wall and whose family it was. She went into detail. But yeah, this is just, this is probably what Mr. Levine built up, right?
Yeah,
because this is newer stuff.
That's concrete.
Yeah, that's built on top of the old structure. We say 1620, in the 1620s.
Because he even had cast cannons that were placed around there.
I saw them.
Yeah, you saw that?
I saw that. And the windows, like the sort of arch-shaped windows or something like that he had coming down the corridor, the walkway or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, up by the gatehouse, he had a thing, and there used to be a bell up there. What was it? And it had a plaque. It was a bell off of some ship or something. Or
A bell off a ship.
And he also put a plaque up there that Nelson had actually been up there.
Up at the house?
Up at the house. I don't know if that's true.
Well, it's not that far technically from English Harbor. If you come into by horse or so. Yeah. It's a good day's trip to go, come and go. Yeah. So
and even this mangrove at the base down here, that was back in the 1800s. That was the only source of fresh water.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, and back in the day, and we're told that it was so important. Had the French got control of that area, the English would have to leave English Harbor, because they would oxen cart with the
kegs of water to get the water from here. And if they starve them out.
So there's fortifications all around, and we found pieces of that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I would love to go with my drone and take a look at that at some point. Maybe not now, because we only have 20 minutes left of battery life, or so it says. It starts to panic at about 20. But yeah, this is the first in a series of Claremont Farm. We're going to come back when the farm is booming with all his newly planted
It's kind
pine.
of off season.
Yeah, it's off season now, but it's so beautiful when it's in full swing. But we just want to thank Mr. Grant, for taking his time out today from his busy work and showing us Claremont Farm, the beauty of Claremont Farm. We'll be back again. As I said, I think we probably have 3 or 4 in a series of 3 or 4 episodes to show you the beauty of this area. And we'll even go up in the surrounding hills at some point in time. It is a real treat to be in this valley.
Up over there.
Rollins is over here, right?
Yeah, the north.
Yeah, that way, yeah. So we're coming back into land, folks. We'll be back real soon with episode 2 of Claremont Farm.